This is another video in my series about returning my 1995 200 TE Mercedes to the road after being off-road for about 4 years. It has just come back from Ian, my guy, and it passed inspection. Now, what Ian had to do to prepare for that is this. First, I'm sorry I don't have a lot of visuals for you today, just stories to tell you. The bonnet, the hood, was not latching. It would just come down to the first level of latching, but would not close all the way. I oiled it myself, but Ian did it better. He said he fully lubricated it, probably including parts I didn't reach, and it closes fine now. The other thing he had to do was repair the parking brake, and this is a real lesson. Just about 3 months before I took it off-road, I had all the brakes done, the discs and the pads. And what I learned today from Ian is that the parking brake shoe is actually inside the rear brake discs, and they had basically disintegrated. There was no parking brake action. So Ian had to go into the rear brakes and disassemble them in order to replace the parking brake shoes, which was quite a big job, about 3 hours. But he did get the parking brake fixed. After his inspection, nothing else he thought was needed. All the electrics work. I got those working. And he took it to MOT and it passed. Bless that stainless steel exhaust I put on 20 years ago. So then Ian went ahead and did a full service. He did, well, start with the easy things. Changed the oil and filter. Then he changed the brake fluid. The filters, of course, air filter, fuel filter. He changed the transmission fluid and filter. He did all that. I forgot to put on the list differential lubrication, but he said he didn't think that was going to be needed, but I might do that next time it's in. What he did find was the air conditioning compressor had a bad pulley or clutch on it, and it was just making too much noise, so he's disconnected that, although he's left it in place so that the universal belt still pulls the pulley. And I'm going to have to get a replacement reconditioned air conditioning compressor, but that was not needed for inspection, of course. He replaced. Now this is more restoration, not vehicle inspection requirements. I got a replacement motor for the rear wiper because it wasn't working. That cost about 30 pounds on eBay, and he replaced that, and it worked. He replaced the window regulator on the right rear door, so that window's now all the way up. If you've seen my earlier videos, you will have seen a big, massive strip of duct tape covering the open window, but now it's closing. He replaced the aerial, took out the motorized aerial and just put in a manual aerial, which is fine with me. And then, interestingly, another lesson to be learned, for me anyway, is the sunroof. So when I was in testing the electrics, I don't know if I told you this, I was trying the switch, and the first stage is the back pops up to allow some venting, and that's as far as it went. It stopped working after that. I did some checking of my own. I checked the switch, and the switch was activating back here on the motor, or was activating something. There was a noise, so I didn't think it was the switch. So I got a I got a used sunroof motor for, again, about 30 pounds on eBay. It was well described, and it was a risk to take. So I gave that to Ian, and what he did first was he pulled off the relay of the of the replacement motor, and he took off the relay from the there we go. There we go. Took off the relay from the existing motor, and he replaced it and it works. Everything works fine. The motor is fine. It was just a bad relay. So I have an extra sunroof motor, which I'll just put back on the shelf, and that's all working fine. There's the wheel well. I took off the carpeting bit. There had been some water collecting down there because the drain holes were not were plugged up, and so I've unplugged those and let that dry out. So that is the story of getting the old war wagon through MOT. Ian says it drives like a beauty. I forgot his words. A beautiful car to drive. He said while he was working on it, 2 people asked him if it was for sale. They are attractive, and he's given it a little bit of a buff so that the green-black metallic paint starts to show its beauty. And I've taken off the hubcaps and tossed them. I only had 3 anyway. And now I'm on the lookout for some proper wheels. This 1995 model, the 93 to 96 models had an alloy wheel option. They were an 8-hole alloy, although I like the ones that came earlier, but I'm going to try to find the 8-hole alloy. And I think that's the end of this video. Sorry there was no action, as I said, but I wanted to tell you the lessons and the successes so far of getting this on the road. I've got it insured starting tomorrow. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to start thinking about the bodywork. Thanks a lot.